Got a goal and you just can't hit it? Well, fill up here and we'll help you get it. Learn the Goal Achievement Success System here on Goal Getting Podcast and put some gas in your goals to power you to the finish line. Let's go, friends. Rev up your engines and let's take off for success. Hello and good morning. This is your host, Tony Woodall with Goal Getting Podcast. And today we have Tatiana Amico on the show with us today. And she's going to talk to us about how to be a badass and get the goals you set. Good morning and welcome, Tatiana.
Good morning. I love that intro. How to be a badass. Yeah.
So, Tatiana, you're a very healthy mom and you've got two beautiful kids. And you want to talk to us a little bit about yourself and tell me, some history about yourself. Tell us what you do and what's your message here.
Yeah, so I am a certified health coach, and I have a huge passion for helping women, and in particular moms, really just take control of their health and their lives and become empowered to do all the things that they actually want to do and not what they feel they should be doing. I personally kind of held back from doing things that I really wanted to do, and even just knowing who I was. And I talk a lot about being you, because I feel that as I started, when we're kids, we're not inundated with all the societal stuff, and then all of a sudden that comes and you kind of lose yourself. And I finally realized that I deserve to go after what I really wanted and be who I wanted to be. And now I help women do that. But with that, I also discovered the importance of taking care of yourself, right? So mind, body, all areas of your life, it's super important to do that. And then that can really help with all the other areas. So the biggest part of my story in the beginning was the whole weight loss. So I was overweight for the majority of my life. I grew up in the time where processed food was it. Like, that's basically what I grew up on. And I ended up having food addictions and eating disorders and all kinds of stuff. And I finally just decided one day that I was so sick of the yo-yo dieting and just constantly having that over my head. And again, I just made a decision that I wanted to learn how to feed my body right and get healthy and have energy and prevent disease and all of that stuff. So I started doing that, and then it just led into this whole new world for me and this new passion. And I wanted to help other women with that, which then led into all of this like personal development type stuff, working on my mindset, my believing in myself, and working through fears and making a decision to go after what I really want in life. So that's also what I help women with, is just really, really working on all of that. It's all encompassing. It's pretty cool.
Cool. Was there a pivotal moment that caused you? I mean, you said you had a weight loss or weight problem for years as a kid. Growing up myself, I had the same problem. So I can certainly empathize with that from a male point of view. But as growing up, was there a pivotal moment that made you finally decide that you needed to, get with the program or create a program and become, healthier?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm being honest, I had so many, what I call like my aha moments. I had so many, but I never fully did anything about them. And then one day it was literally like, I just didn't want to get out of bed, and I didn't want to get out of bed, and I didn't want to go into my closet because I was afraid that my pants wouldn't fit. And I had this like massive aha moment. And I also remember finally getting up and then just basically crying on the floor. And I was like, I can't live like this anymore. And right there, that's it. I made a decision and I just acted on it, and I have not looked back since. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's been a journey. There have been ups and downs, of course. There will always be, and I'm okay with that. But I made the decision right then and there that I really needed to make a change, and I wasn't gonna let excuses or anything else get in the way of that.
And excellent. Yeah. Now you talked about the ups and downs, and it is sometimes a trial to, get ourselves healthy, especially, like I said, I suffered from that as a child myself and got even worse. I started working on my own goals and, trying to build a career, and really did great at that. Got my career, got my goal job that I was looking for, and became what I wanted to be, except I stepped on a scale one morning and saw that I had hit 300 pounds
Right.
and realized I wasn't taking care of my health. And I think that's one of the things you're talking about for women and moms especially, is sometimes I would assume, I have 2 kids, so I've had that situation, growing up, watching my now former wife, struggle with having to work with the kids all the time and not taking care of themselves and things like that. So I assume that's a big issue for moms these days still. So how do you get yourself and women to realize that they have to take themselves first?
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. And I would not be the mom I am. I would not be happy if I wasn't taking care of myself. And that's something that I say a lot, is really think about that. There's that super cliche, but it's really so true. When you get on an airplane, you have to put your oxygen mask on first, or you're not going to help anyone else, right? And that is perfect for this example as well. If we are not taking care of ourselves, if we don't have the energy, if we are not, again, happy, that comes up in many ways. And our kids can see that. They can feel it. And for me personally, I'm not going to allow that to happen, right? And I want my children, I can talk all day long, but they're going to learn from what I'm actually doing. So that's one of my biggest things, is that I want them to see what it is to take care of yourself. I can't say to them that that's important if I'm not doing it myself. And that goes along with health and like going after what I want too, like my dreams and my goals.
Okay. Excellent. Now, do you have a process that you go through or that you recommend moms and women to, that have the same type of situation? What are some of the first steps and process that you can think of that you recommend?
Yeah, the biggest thing is it's so important to really get clear on what it is that you want, what you desire. And I will say, I tell them all the time, do not allow anything to even get into that space. Don't allow what you think you should be saying to get into that. Don't allow any sort of what you think other people are going to think of you for wanting certain things. Don't allow anything. Like, just be really real and authentic and vulnerable with what it is that you truly want for you, whether it is, looking really, really good in a bathing suit, or wanting to start a business, or whatever that looks like for them. Wanting to have like endless energy and be able to wake up in the morning and just be happy, but envisioning that. So taking it really deep, because if we just do the surface level stuff, it's less likely to continue on. I see that a lot. And that was me. I would say, I'm going on a vacation, or summer's coming and I have to drop like 10, 15 pounds. And that didn't last, right? I needed to get really deep and really envision the woman that I really wanted to be. And that's what took it to that whole nother level and has kept me, going strong for years through 2 pregnancies and a lot of stuff, a lot of life stuff, right? So I say, get really deep on that why and the envisioning of what it is, like how you're going to feel when you reach those goals, how you're really going to be feeling in life, in your body, all of that.
That's great. You talked about 2 of the biggest items that I have in my 9 steps to successful goal achievement. And one of those is knowing your why. You have to define your why.
Yeah.
What exactly is your real reason for achieving your goals? And you just nailed it right there. You got to really dig down. I like what you said about not thinking about when you're trying to determine what your goal is and what you're trying to do, not thinking about what other people think, and you're
Yeah.
really just digging into what your goal is and what your true desire is. And then you also talked about vision and envisioning your idea, your thought. And so do you use any particular visioning technique or
what really helped me is one day I went to an event and I was forced to write it down on paper. Mm-hmm. And that changed my life because I'm sure you know this, with goals and everything, it's so important to get them out on paper. It's so important to write that out. And I would never do that. And it's sad, but I wasn't really achieving anything, because if you don't write it out, if you really aren't real and true to what it is that you want, how are you even going to go there? It's like throwing darts or what I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Like, you have nowhere to hit, right? So I was forced to do it because I'm like in this room with all these people and everyone's doing it. So I finally did it. And I mean, I was like crying and it was like one of those like epic moments in my life. And I just say that, write it all out, just like a stream of consciousness or whatever. But I'm like, say it, it's in the present tense, and just go full out and just write it out. So that is what really, really has helped me. Of course, I do have like a vision board that's on my wall that I can see every day. I have a lot of words on there. And again, it's that feeling. So I have things like happy, peace, fulfilled, clarity. I'm just looking. Reflection, action. I'm very big into feeling like I am enough. I want to feel that I am enough. And also not worrying about what anyone thinks of me. So I have quotes about that up there too. Mm-hmm. So definitely writing out. And anytime things change, you have to redo it, right? Because it's cool. That vision that I wrote down, it pretty much all ended up happening. And so then I had to, for a while, I was feeling kind of stuck. I'm like, what is going on? And it was just that because I had reached all of that, I had to revisit my kind of I had to take it to another level with what it is that now I was wanting to have my life look like. So.
Yeah. Excellent. Now you nailed another one, writing it down. That's a big key. I firmly believe in that. Napoleon Hill in his book, Think and Grow Rich, talks about that was the one common thread between all the people that he had interviewed at that time, was that they all had clearly defined written goals, and everybody wrote their goals down. So you really nailed that one. You have to do that. And I like the fact that it really built that emotion to, sit down and think about it and write it. And you just were able to visualize that whole thing through that process.
Yeah. Cause if you take the time to do that, and honestly, even better if you definitely doing that. But even when I have someone else helping me through it, because sometimes we have a tendency to say, I don't know. And I don't know is just a way of not digging deep. It's just, we do know, right? It's in us, but sometimes there's fear that comes up. There's thinking that, for me, it was thinking it would never happen. So what's the point of me even writing it down? Mm-hmm. So there was so much and with goals too, that's why I wouldn't write them down, because I was always so afraid that I would never achieve them. So what was the point? And now I'm like, oh my gosh, that way of thinking is so sad. And that's why I really, really, really help women, because I don't want them to feel that way. I want them to know that they can. And so it is, if you need help getting that out, definitely seek that.
Yeah, excellent. Now, with moms, it's tough, managing some moms that are managing careers too at the same time, and trying to raise kids. It's pretty tough. What is there something that you can recommend, or that you do and recommend for moms to keep it all together and have a good fit life? What are some steps that you would recommend?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It is not easy at all. Becoming a mom was whoa, and then I started a business soon after, so I was a little, I hate the word overwhelmed, but there was a lot going on. What I have found lately, because I've really been working on this so that I don't go crazy, is knowing, again, just knowing what it is that I am going after, my goals, what it is that I want, what it is that, if with the kids, what's going on maybe that week. So it's important to know all of this stuff and write it down. This is what I do. And set your week up for success by planning this stuff out, just having a calendar, knowing what's coming up, but scheduling the time for you. So for me, exercise is extremely important to me, extremely important. So really scheduling that in, knowing when that's going to happen. And I need to say this, with kids, it's not like, things happen, right? So being okay with, if something comes up. But I'm very big into figuring things out. I don't know if you know who Marie Forleo is, but something that she says a lot is everything is figure outable. And that has helped me so much when things come up, just knowing that I can switch my mindset and just say, you know what, I'll figure it out. I'll do it later. I'll just work out with my baby all on top of me. Everything's figure outable. So, but planning, that has been huge for me, because if I don't plan it out, if I don't write everything out, it usually won't happen.
Yeah. Now you brought up my next question I was thinking to ask, and you kind of mentioned it in that discussion. Do you get your children involved with you in your fitness and wellness activities?
Totally. Because again, when they're going to learn and they're going to do from seeing me versus me saying. So, sometimes I would go to the gym, but now I basically do everything right at home. And my son will be like, all right, I'm going to exercise with you. And he'll go grab his sneakers and come over and do it. It's not all the time, but when he does, it makes my heart very happy. And then the baby, she's only 16 months. So the moment that I'm on the ground, she is on top of me. Now, with babies, you never know. There have been times where she's going crazy, crying, and I've put her, thank goodness for carriers, I've literally put her in a carrier and done my workout. I can't, of course, go crazy, but I've done, workouts holding her. So again, everything is figure outable. I'm very big, if you want something, you will figure out a way to make it happen.
Yeah, no cartwheels with the baby in the carrier.
Right, no cartwheels. Yeah.
They might enjoy that, Well, great. Now, on a health diet, not dieting. I hate that term myself.
Yeah.
An eating plan. Are there any particular recommendations, or how do you, especially with children, you've got, we tend to, and again, you talked about it earlier as well, with the fast foods and the easily prepared things for kids. Sometimes moms will just eat the Kraft macaroni and cheese. This is not an ad for Kraft macaroni and cheese, but we just start eating the things that our kids are eating, or that we probably give them the wrong things sometimes just to appease them. So are there any techniques or any particular recommendations that you have along that line?
Yeah. So, in terms of, I don't like dieting in dieting sense, but a diet, I'm just very big into eating whole food. That's my thing. And by whole food, I mean not overly processed stuff. I don't even know what to call it. But what I do that has literally changed my life is just batch prepping food. That's what I did yesterday, is just making big batches of whole food. So I did a big batch of quinoa. I did big batches of some veggies. You could do big batches of soups and chilies and all kinds of stuff. So you just have it in the fridge, and you're hungry, you just heat it up and go, right? So you're not going crazy thinking, oh, what should I eat? Because that's what used to happen to me is especially when I started my business, you're so go. And then all of a sudden you're starving and oh my gosh, what do I do? Right. So that has been life changing. And even if am running out the door, I have still not mastered the timing with 2 children. So often I am running out the door, and I can still just take those foods, put them in a container. I really don't care about heating them up, and I have them to go. And even with the kids as well, just bringing that along with me. So just being prepared, right? Again, being prepared is just very important. So, I mean, I planned that into my week as well. I knew that yesterday I was going to do a bunch of batch prepping, and I made it happen. And while I was doing that, I was listening to personal development. So I was working on my mind and doing something good to make sure that I fuel my body right. So that's my biggest tip, is just batch prepping. And I just bought this new thing that I know moms are loving it, but it's called an Instant Pot, which is basically a pressure cooker. But that's been really helping me too, is just to make things very quick, simple. I'm all about simplicity. Simplicity is where it's at. I needed to stop complicating everything and overthinking everything.
Well, that's a good point. Keep it simple. But I like the batch idea, because that's one of my problems that I have. Between working a full-time job, running a business, trying to stay healthy, I tend to, and I'm watching what I eat as well, but there are times where, I've got a late meeting or something, and then I still haven't had anything to eat, and I'm hungry. So typically your best thing to do that you think of is stop at a fast food place and grab something, which I did last night, and get something to eat. And then, but if I had it all prepared and ready to go, and I could just pull it out of the refrigerator or freezer and heat it up or make it, then that would make it much better. So you just gave me a great idea that I need to start doing, getting things prepared and have it ready when I come home.
Yeah.
Just grab it out of the fridge.
Yeah. And I mean, seriously, once you start doing that, it will really change everything for you. But, if there are better options at certain fast food places. I mean, my go-to, I don't know if you guys have Chipotle, but like that's it. Like that's my go-to. I'm totally okay with all their stuff. So, that's if we're, running around, and I did not do what I tell people to do. That's my go-to.
Right. It's good choice. Good option.
And also, Also, my biggest thing that I'm obsessed with is just green smoothies, because those are, I mean, you could just jam pack those with so much good stuff to at least make sure that you're getting in really good stuff in that day. So, I mean, especially for moms, again, since I have not conquered the timing of 2 children, I can literally make a green smoothie in 2 minutes and have it in the car when I'm going to take my son to school or whatever.
Yeah, the time with 2 kids, I think, quadruples from 1 kid, even though you only have 1 additional. It takes a lot longer to get that done.
And then with a 4-year-old who will sometimes literally drag his feet, literally.
Yeah.
So I'm learning all about that.
It's a fun journey. Trust me. I didn't have a boy, but I had 2 wonderful daughters, and they're now grown and doing very well. But
awesome.
Sometimes we wonder when they're dragging their feet and taking forever to get things done. But that's great. Now, Tatiana, you help women. How do people get in touch with you?
Yeah, so my website is TatianaAmico.com, and Facebook, Tatiana Amico Health Coach. I'm on Instagram, Tatiana Amico. I also have community is so important to me. I think especially women, we need to be surrounded by other women that are empowering and supportive and on the same journey as us, like-minded, is super important. And the ones pushing you and telling you, yeah, you can freaking do it. So I have a online community, and if you just go to Healthy, Happy, Empowered Women, you could join that. It is just for women.
Okay. Well,
I've had guys try to join, and I'm like,
And that's on Facebook, Healthy, Happy, Empowered Women?
Yeah, healthyhappyempoweredwomen.com. You could go to, and I'll take you right there. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I'll also put those on our show notes page, folks. So ladies only in the group. I will post that as well. Guys, stay out. Don't even try. But you need to work on your health and your
for
fitness
sure
as well. But
for sure.
This is for ladies on that particular site and stuff. But you can check out Tatiana, Amico.com, and get that also on the show notes page as well, whether you're a guy or a girl. But we'll have those for you so you can click on those.
Cool.
So, Tatiana, I've got a couple of extra questions for you. You mentioned your vision board and that you had goals. And one of my things that I always ask all my guests is, what quote hangs on your wall?
Ooh, okay. So again, I said that about, really working on not really caring what anybody thinks about me. So the biggest quote I have on my vision board is, when you truly don't care what anyone thinks of you, you have reached a dangerously awesome level of freedom. Wonderful. That just gives me all the feels.
Oh, good. Could you repeat that for me one more time?
Yep. When you truly don't care what anyone thinks of you, you have reached a dangerously awesome level of freedom.
Freedom. All right. That's true. I thank you so much. That's a great quote. I love that one. I'm going to have to put that on my wall as well. Sometimes we all, whether male or female, have a problem thinking about what other people think.
Yeah.
And it really holds us back.
It does. And it's so important to be you and really just share you and own who you are. Right. And again, just really share that with the world. Another thing that I say a lot is just really shine bright. Shine bright.
Excellent. Now, Do you have any books that have inspired you lately? Do you have a book that you would recommend to your audience?
Yes. You kept saying wealth instead of health. And seriously though, I've really been working on my money mindset. I didn't realize that was a thing, but it is. Yep. And now that I'm working on it, I'm seeing how important it is and how other people really should be working on this. So Jen Sincero just came out with How to Be a Badass at Making Money. Such a good book. She also has just You Are a Badass. Those two books have been huge for me. They're self-help, but they're funny. And just a really good read. So many good nuggets in there. So definitely pick that up.
Excellent. How do you spell her last name?
Sincero.
Sincero. And it's Jensen, Jenson?
Jen, Jen, and then Sincero, Sincero.
Okay. Well, that's a great one. So, I keep confusing health and wealth sometimes, but your health is your wealth. I mean, without your good health, you can't be wealthy. That's one of your big things, but same thing, you got to work on your wealth mindset. And I think that's
totally
something that we all have to think about and sometimes forget.
Yeah.
They kind of work together in a lot of respects.
It's really all, like I said, it's just all encompassing. We don't realize how everything just kind of all intertwines.
Exactly. Well, Tatiana, is there one big piece of advice that you could recommend to moms that will help them in their daily lives?
Yeah, I really feel that be really true to what it is that you truly desire. Like really be true to that. Be okay with what it is that you want. Stop thinking of all the shoulds and no comparing. No comparing. That's a big one. Especially no comparing to all the highlight reels on social media.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to say this. Stop shitting on yourself.
Yeah, stop shooting. Yeah, stop shooting on yourself. I love that.
All right. Well, Tatiana, thank you for joining us today on Goal Getting Podcast. I really appreciate it. We will talk to you soon. Don't forget to go see Tatiana at TatianaAmico.com. You can find the links on our show notes page to that and her Facebook, and I'll have her contact information up there for you as well. Everybody go out and get the goals you set today and make it a great day.